Joining us right now from the NFL owners meeting, my colleague from the NFL Network, NFL Media Group, blurring his background as the pro that he is when he zooms into the show. Good to see you, Ian Rapoport. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I don't want you to see where I am, so I got the whole background board, so I could be literally anywhere in America right now.
That's really impressive. And by the way, you are doing right now the
Oh my God!
Whoa, no! Whoa! It's
Oh my
got
God!
windows.
Sorry.
It's
I don't know
got
what
windows and artwork.
Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
And a ceiling.
My bad.
It's okay.
My bad.
Okay, sorry.
And well, I know.
Okay.
Well done. And by the way, you're also, this is an old school trick of the television trade that you're pulling off right now. You may not even know it, but it is, you are so busy at what you're doing, and you are so busy conducting the business of information that you don't have time to tie your tie all the way up. It's just down, and you're just on the move,
Well,
and that is what a visual indication that you are a busy man, Ian. That's it.
I would say, so what's going on here, Rich, is I just left the trading floor. It's, 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. whenever the thing closes.
Yes.
And I've just done a lot of, it's like trading places where I've just been yelling at people, waving tickets and like trying to get my stocks bought. And now that I'm done, I'm going to go have a bourbon and smoke a cigar. So I got to put the tie down to make sure the bourbon goes down properly.
Nicely done. And let me just continue this one. Let me continue this one.
Okay,
right now, Jeffrey Lurie is sitting somewhere cheersing Lewis or is he Valentine? Because 8% of the team that he sold today is worth 4x of what he's basically spent 100% of the team on back in 1994. Ian, that's some of the news that's there in the owners meeting.
It's interesting you mentioned that part of it. So there has been some ownership news. You had several teams, the Bills, the Eagles, the Dolphins have sold small parts of the team to limited partners, basically getting an infusion of cash, adding some members to the ownership group, maintaining control, but basically just getting cash. So that's interesting. But to me, the more interesting part is we basically got a valuation of some of these teams, including the Eagles. And if the valuation of $8.3 billion is correct, that is obviously a massive number. Now, we don't know for sure what is the next team to sell. I mean, people think it's going to be the Seahawks. I'm not so sure about that. I really am not. It could be honestly, it could come from anywhere. But if that valuation is correct, obviously that would represent a massive, massive jump and a very good thing for, owners who are already doing well, but, this would show just how well they could potentially be doing.
Do the Players Association look at that and go, let's put some of that in the cap? I mean, does that raise a level of interest, do you think, from the PA, or this is just part and parcel of doing business in the 21st century of major North American sports or worldwide sports right now, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the PA goes, that would not be revenue that would be split with the players. Now, there is revenue going up. The cap is expected to jump. I reported this week with a guy named Tom Pelissero,
yes, I've heard.
who works with me at NFL Network.
Nice.
He's one of our insiders. He's got some weird hair, but he's a good guy. Lives somewhere in the Midwest, I think maybe Oklahoma. I'm not sure. Anyway, reported that the cap is expected to go up. Teams are plotting for about 270 to 275. That's a $20 million leap. It might actually be more just based on where revenue is. So that's something the players are interested in. And, look, revenue raises, it goes to the salary cap. Everyone gets rich. Players get more money. It's all good. But I think that's more what the players would be concerned about.
Ian Rapoport here on the Rich Eisen Show from the NFL owners meeting in the Metroplex. What's the latest on Belichick? Is it possible? Is it? I mean, this sounds real. Belichick in North Carolina, Ian, right now.
I would say the interest is real. The interest and intrigue and conversations, they're all real. I think Bill Belichick has sincere, legitimate interest in potentially being the North Carolina coach. I believe North Carolina has interest in Bill Belichick being the coach, and it does seem to me, based on my understanding of the situation, that if this is something he wanted to do, that North Carolina could make it work, that they have told him that, you would be someone we would love to have as head coach, provided they could agree on all different facets of this. I do not sense as of right now, like this very moment, that anything is agreed to or imminent. Could it happen in 2 seconds? It could. All it takes is someone to say yes. But, I'm very leery of talking to people who claim to speak for Bill Belichick. I've known him for a very long time. I've known how tight he keeps his circle. He is not, and this would surprise you, he's not exactly someone who emotes a lot to other people, especially people who would then go talk to reporters. That doesn't happen that often. So I am very leery of taking people's word to be like, oh, well, Bill Belichick is obviously thinking X. We don't know. But there's a lot of things that have to go right to make this happen. I don't get the sense that it is happening right now. I know there's a alleged UNC board meeting planned. I'm not even sure if that's related to this. It might not be. So we are sort of in wait and see mode until we figure out what Bill Belichick wants to do.
You mean the UNC board might be meeting for something like academics? What the hell, Ian? Like what that's
well, I didn't say that. It could be another sport.
Okay, very good. And I do have Bruce Feldman on later on for those out there checking out this program. I'll ask him a little bit more from the college point of
Meat
view.
Market, great book.
No, but the reason why I mention that is I want to hit you on the professional football angle of this as well, Ian.
Okay.
Is it possible that we look at his interest in UNC as the fact that he's kicked tires around the league already, and he's getting the sense that the job search for him this year might, despite all of us not understanding it, might go the same way as it did last year for him, Ian?
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, and that's basically my sense of this thing. Now, look, we have 3 openings now.
Right.
There are other jobs where people are sort of saying, like, all right, there might be a change here. Like I'd say Jacksonville is certainly one that I expect there to be some sort of change at some point. Thought it would be before the bye. It was not, but I expect some sort of change on some level in Jacksonville. There's, plenty of others where I think people expect some change. So he's not going to know for sure, but there's 3 jobs open. If, my sense is if Bill Belichick felt like he was definitely getting one of those jobs, one, those teams that would not have conducted real searches, which is lame and also not allowed. But 2, he might not be going down this road. I will say this. Last year, he got interest from the Falcons. It did not work out. I'm not sure that he left that process feeling like it was a really good and positive process and situation. I think at some point it was certainly out there way more than, like people were talking like he was getting the Falcons job last year, then it just didn't end up happening for a variety of reasons. I don't know that was a great experience for him. I think he is a football coach. He would like to coach football. And if he has an opportunity at North Carolina to do what so many of his good friends, from Nick Saban to Kirk Ferentz to many others, Greg Schiano, have done, I think at least he's very seriously considering it.
What are the Bears thinking, Ian? Like what can they think right now? What are they doing? Because that is obviously of the 3 jobs that are open, the one with the coveted spot, because they have a very talented kid at quarterback already in-house and under contract for a while, and it's also the Chicago Bears, Ian. So what's the thinking there from ownership and the setup there, and what coaches might be interested in terms of joining?
Well, let's start with the Caleb Williams part. That is a big part of it. And if you're someone who is going to take over a franchise that's bad, which obviously the Bears are not good right now, they just fired their coach. If you have a quarterback, that's a lot of it, right? Because you're going to want to go there to a place where you can win, and one great way to win is to have a good quarterback. Caleb Williams certainly has the potential to be that. The roster is good. The offensive line needs work. The rest of the roster is pretty good. So it is at least an opportunity you could maybe make a quick turnaround. The Bears believe, and this is something they said in the press conference a week or so ago, whenever that was, that they have the most coveted opening. I have not polled the candidates. I don't know, where it ranks or whatever, but at least it is a favorable job situation. So, they're gonna have a lot of really good candidates interested, from Mike Vrabel, who really my sense, comes away with one. I think Vrabel's got a really good shot to be a head coach next year. I think he will be one of the top candidates, if not the top candidate. And you got some other good ones. You got Aaron Glenn, who's a great leader and a great defensive coordinator. You got Ben Johnson, who's a little bit different, but really good.
Why is it different?
Coordinator. Hold on.
Okay,
hold on.
Sure. Who's coming in here? Oh, Tommy P.
Hold on, wait.
No. It's okay. You don't have to unblur him. It's all right. He's on Friday, Ian.
We're keeping you. Oh, so they don't want you.
He's on Friday. He's on Friday.
Listen, I let him know the story. You don't want him. It's fine. I'm also free Friday, by the way, in case you want to replace.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, good to know that. But why is Ben Johnson different? Why is he different?
Well, I just mean look, I think Ben Johnson is a really, 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 really good head coach candidate. Sure. It's just, you have Vrabel, who's sort of more of front of the room, leader of men, hard driving, disciplinarian type dude. Aaron Glenn is kind of obviously he's done an excellent job as a defensive coordinator, but more of a rah-rah, spirited players type guy. Ben Johnson is, I would say, clearly the, just scheme, offensive play calling wise, clearly the top. Is he a front of the room leader of men type? Maybe. Leaders come in all different forms, but I would say Vrabel is more of kind of the classic in that realm. Now, again, you don't have to be a classic quote unquote leader of men. Mike McDaniel's not in Miami, and I think everyone would sort of say certainly deserves to be a head coach and has done some good things. So they come in all different forms. I'm just saying there's different ways you could sort of go with it.
I see. Ian Rapoport here on the Rich Eisen Show. A few minutes left with the insider, one of them from NFL Network and NFL Plus. So what is happening with the Philadelphia Eagles? 9 wins in a row, and the conversation is A.J. Brown's chat with the media after the game. Is there any there? Is there something that should be checked for smoke and fire, Ian?
I would say, yes, because players' feelings about each other is real. I don't think it's BS. I don't think it's nonsense. Clearly there's, he feels a certain way. And if him and Jalen Hurts aren't best friends, it seems real. I don't know that I care that much about that specifically because there's 53 guys on the team. There's practice squad guys. They're not all going to be best friends. If they're not all hanging out at each other's houses, it doesn't really matter. It's really just are they functioning properly on the football field? That is important. And a lot of times they are. Now, the other part of this thing is the Eagles have sort of morphed before our very eyes into a different kind of team. They're a run first, play defense, physical, in your face type team. The passing game is going to have to be there, but they look different than maybe what the, high flying passing attack we kind of thought they were. So that might be something that we need to kind of get through. But I think that's more important than whether or not AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are going to be riding home together and then going to get pizza and milkshakes.
Well, but if it's just a pressure point, one that somebody like Mike Tomlin would press upon, one would think, on Sunday. That's what I'm saying.
Just to kind of play on the kind of tension there.
Yeah.
Now I would say the Steelers would want to take AJ Brown away anyway, but as we've learned, and this is one, there's a lot of reasons I like Hard Knocks, but you get to learn more about the inner workings of Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
I could see this being something he would play up a little bit, and it's kind of fun.
All right. Before I let you go, injury notes. Isaac Guerrero, a lot of people are hoping he goes, certainly if they picked him off the waiver wire or spent a bunch of their remaining fantasy waiver wire dollars on him. Yeah. Will he go on Thursday night, do you think?
Must be nice to have a fantasy team that's still alive.
Nice.
It's just a disaster. Total disaster. I'm last in my league in points. It's real funny. Anyway, this whole season sucks. Anyway, most of it, I blame my players and the ones who got injured. Isaac Guerrero, I would say he's got a foot sprain. It didn't seem to me to be serious, but he has not practiced yet. And I would say if he doesn't practice today, probably not looking good for Thursday.
Okay.
It was described to me as a little bit too quick of a turnaround. But we'll see for sure where it ends up going a little bit later today.
And then any other injuries that you want to throw out there that of note for you that you think would be germane?
Yeah, I would say for one of the most, not for Thursday's game, but one of the best games, Bills Lions on Sunday at 4:25. I think learning earlier today that Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid are both expected to practice fully. That means they're probably getting them back, and I would say that is a very, very good sign for Buffalo.
Okay, good to hear about that. All right, Ian, congrats on Soto. Congrats
Thanks.
on him. I don't know if you've been celebrating that over the last 9 years.
Yeah, every second. It's look, the Mets are going to be awesome. It's not my money.
That's right.
I wish all bad things for the Yankees. Just horrible. Everything moving forward, just as bad as it could be. So taking the Yankees' best player is great, and I hope they don't recover.
Wait a minute. Was there breaking news? Aaron Judge went to the Mets? What?
No, best player, Rich. Best player.
The best player.
He's the MVP of the American League. Twice over in the last 3 years, Ian. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
The American League, the MVP vote, it's more of a media situation. I'm talking about like actual people who like really felt like he was their best player, and now he's our best player.
Wow.
Ian said what he said, Rich. He said what he said.
This is great.
Okay.
Look at that.
Aaron Judge seems to be, a very nice guy, though.
Okay. Ian, thanks for the time, brother. Be well. I really appreciate it. You bet. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern for free.